Hey there, folks. Mike Rowe here, and let me tell you, I've seen some strange things in my life, but nothing quite prepares you for the story of Bigfoot. Now, Bigfoot ain't your typical monster. He's more like that lovable, hairy uncle you only see at family reunions. Except instead of bad jokes, he's got a knack for getting into wacky situations. Bigfoot's troubles started young. He had this childhood nemesis, a scrawny raccoon named Parker McKrackenpuss.
Parker was all bark and no bite, but he sure knew how to push Bigfoot's buttons.
Then there was Mrs. Hildebrand, a sweet old lady who lived at the edge of the woods. She loved two things: making waffles and hosting gopher wrestling matches in her backyard.
Bigfoot was her star athlete, though he never quite figured out how to tell her he wasn't too keen on body-slamming gophers.
Life in the woods was never dull, that's for sure. But Bigfoot yearned for something more. He was tired of Parker's pranks and Mrs. Hildebrand's wrestling matches. He wanted adventure, excitement, and maybe a chance to learn how to defend himself against pesky raccoons. Little did he know his journey was about to begin. Bigfoot decided enough was enough. He was tired of being the butt of Parker McKrackenpuss's jokes. He wanted to stand tall, to be confident, to maybe even learn a roundhouse kick or two.
So he did what any self-respecting Bigfoot would do. He enrolled in a kung fu school.
Now, you've heard of fish out of water? Try picturing a 7-foot-tall Bigfoot trying to master the crane stance in a dojo full of squirrels and rabbits. It was a sight to behold. But Bigfoot was determined. He trained day and night, his fur matted with sweat, his knuckles calloused, his spirit unbreakable. His master, a wizened old badger named Sifu Shirfu, saw something special in Bigfoot. He pushed him harder, taught him the secrets of the ancient fighting styles. Bigfoot learned to harness his strength to control his movements, to become one with the flow of combat. He was no longer the clumsy, awkward Bigfoot of old. He was a force to be reckoned with.
And Parker McKrackenpuss, well, let's just say he suddenly developed a newfound respect for his old nemesis.
With his newfound confidence and kung fu skills, Bigfoot decided it was time to see the world. He packed his backpack, grabbed his passport, and set off on a 37-week backpacking adventure across Europe. From the Eiffel Tower to the Colosseum, Bigfoot left his mark and probably a few footprints on the continent.
He learned to say bonjour in French, ciao in Italian, and Donner und Blitzen in German, though he mostly used that one when he accidentally stepped on someone's foot.
He even had a brief stint as a gondola operator in Venice, though his size made it a bit tricky to navigate the narrow canals. Let's just say there were a few close calls with bridges and a lot of very wet tourists. Through it all, Bigfoot embraced the unknown. He sampled escargots in Paris. He wasn't a fan. Rode a bull in Pamplona. He won. And even learned to yodel in the Swiss Alps. It sounded like a dying walrus.